and welcome to the Mall family. El Macho.
Few criminals can boast a rap sheet as extensive and varied as that of El Macho. A supervillain with a penchant for gratuitous violence, Macho terrorized Mexico for years before appearing in the US, rechristened as Eduardo Perez,
Eduardo Perez.
the jovial owner of Salsa y Salsa. We'll consider the charges and sentencing Macho would face, where he tried for the laundry list of offenses committed during his decades-long crime spree. From outrageous food safety violations to attempted murder, he's done everything but pay his debt to society. And today, we're going to find out just how hefty that bill would be. To achieve his goal of world domination, El Macho needs to create an unstoppable army of vicious warriors. Stealing the PX-41 mutagen from this top-secret research facility is his first step toward doing so. And as you can see, he racks up a whole lot of charges in the process, including first-degree grand theft, $10,000 fine, 30 years in prison; transportation of stolen goods, $25,000 fine, 10 years in prison; possession of controlled substance, $1,000 fine, first offense, 1 year in prison; reckless endangerment, 2.5 to 7 years prison; petty theft, $500 fine. As it stands, Macho is already facing 43.5 years in prison and a whopping $36,500 in fines. We're going to keep a running tally going throughout. And as you're about to see, we've got our work cut out for us. With the PX-41 secured,
You're gonna die.
Macho starts rounding up the unwitting minions he'll ultimately turn it on to create his mutant army.
Soon, I will unleash them on the world!
Placid and unsuspecting, they would be the perfect victims, were it not for their childlike nature. As is, they serve to strengthen the severity of charges against him. When the victim is a child, kidnapping is automatically upgraded to a felony. But as you can see, Macho isn't the type of criminal to fret over trivial things like misdemeanors and felonies, racking up charges, and stockpiling victims with reckless abandon. This foray onto Gru's property will cost him $75 for first-time misdemeanor trespassing and another count of aggravated felony kidnapping. While this doesn't automatically carry a life sentence, it's almost sure to for El Macho, as it's clearly not an out-of-character one-off crime, nor is it a two-off or even three-off crime. Macho once again demonstrates a flagrant disregard for child safety and the law, returning to the scene of the initial crime to make off with 2 more minions. He's up to 4 life sentences now, and the fines are only getting steeper. Trespassing onto the same land will cost him $250 this time around, up from the first-time offense fee of $75. Having returned home safely, Macho returns to operating under the guise of restaurant owner Eduardo Perez.
Somebody's going to die tonight.
This does little to diminish his inherent predilection for criminality, though, while his affection for guard chicken Polito
Pollito!
demonstrates an unexpected softer side.
Who would do this to such a sweet little chicken?
The chicken's presence in a restaurant comes in stark violation of the Food Sanitation Act, which expressly prohibits the presence of live fowls in any business, where food is prepared, manufactured, kept, stored, or offered for sale. In a rare break for El Macho, this will only result in a slap on the wrist in the form of a written notice of violation. Assuming, of course, that it's his first violation of the Food Sanitation Act, which is quite the assumption to make, given who we're discussing. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt this time, saving him from the $100 fine that comes with a second violation. Even with the $100 back in his pocket, he's still looking at some serious fees. $36,825 to this point, which feels almost trivial compared to the 4 life sentences plus 43.5 years in prison he's facing. He's clearly unfazed by the severe punishment awaiting him though, as evidenced by the subsequent aggravated felony kidnapping of 40+ minions, each kidnapping a felony, each felony punishable by up to life in prison. But before he can mutate the minions and use them to advance his diabolical plot, he has to keep them tucked away somewhere safe. While they don't seem to mind their captive status and environs, the law undoubtedly does. Macho will have to answer for 200+ counts of felony false imprisonment when he has his day in court. He'll also have to answer for the additional 156+ counts of aggravated felony kidnapping that led to the imprisonment to begin with. Unfortunately for the minions, things are about to take a dark turn. With the wheels of his plan already in motion, it's time for Macho to test out the new superweapon on his easygoing, banana-chomping victims. And the results aren't pretty. He successfully transforms the peaceful minions into indestructible, bloodthirsty purple monsters. And the true scope of his scheme reveals itself. With hundreds of them under his command, his quest for world domination is firmly within reach. Luckily for them, their former boss Gru is hot on Macho's trail, having discovered the secret lair hidden within the supervillain's restaurant. Unluckily for Macho, a workplace littered with lethal booby traps is certain to draw a hefty fine from OSHA. As Gru attempts to play along with Macho's desire to partner up, Macho in turn begins to suspect his former idol of attempting to double-cross him. And his suspicions are well-founded. Gru and his daughter storm Macho's hideout, firing antidote-laden darts into the mutant minions and restoring them to their former selves. But Macho has an ace up his sleeve. He's kidnapped AVL agent Lucy Wilde, strapped her to a rocket, and plans to blow her and a shark sky high in an act of vengeance that's as violent as it is felonious. The kidnapping charge is guaranteed to come with a life sentence, given Macho's past actions, while punishment for the attempted murder charge is made even more severe by the fact Lucy is an on-duty special agent. As such, the crime comes with a minimum of 15 years in prison. That, plus the 3 years and $20,000 fine for felony animal cruelty, makes this one of Macho's costliest criminal escapades yet. But it's not his last. Realizing the fiery fate awaiting Lucy, Gru frantically battles the now mutated Macho for control of the rocket's remote detonator. Macho grabs a steel frame and attempts to bludgeon Gru with it, adding one more attempted murder charge to his rap sheet. But Gru and Lucy luck out at the last minute. Dr. Nefario and a cadre of vengeful minions subdue El Macho.
I really hate that chicken.
As the rocket launches skyward, Gru hot on its trail. He rescues Lucy just in the nick of time, saving the day and securing a happy ending for everyone.
They'll be back.
Everyone, that is, but El Macho. By the time he's finally apprehended, he's amassed a whopping 655.5 years in prison, which he'll only begin chipping away at after serving 203 concurrent life sentences, of course. While the sheer scope of his criminal endeavors makes him an unlikely candidate for parole, he'd theoretically be eligible after 5,402 years and 9 months. His financial hit is relatively paltry by comparison, totaling $86,825 in fines. If he finds a non-criminal way to earn $16.07 each year he's behind bars, he'll emerge from prison debt-free in July of 7425 AD. What do you think? Is a 5-century prison sentence overkill or not nearly enough for this career criminal? Let us know in the comments. Want to see more detailed analysis of the big screen's biggest criminals? Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. New videos dropping each week.